In this episode, I am going to show you how to make a hologram material. I am currently in EV engine, so I am selecting the cube and camera and press X to delete it. Now I am adding a plane and press S to scale it. Now I am rotate in the only Y direction, so I press R, Y and press 90. Now I grab the plane by G in only in X direction, a little bit move behind, and adjust the size by pressing S. Now I am going to give the hologram effect in monkey's head. If you want to give one of your object, you can give it. So I rotate the monkey in Z direction only by pressing R, Z and 90. At the left corner you can see the rotation property where you can change the angle whatever you need. Now I am going to apply the hologram material, so select the object and go to the shading menu. Okay, so I select the light and bring down a little so I can see the material will apply the proper or not. Now I first select the plane and press the new material. Here the principal BSDF in which you can change the property whatever you want. So I bring down the color to black and eliminating the lighting effect on the plane, reducing the IOR level to the specular, which give you a totally black background to see the hologram effect properly. Now select the object that has to be given the hologram effect. Now click the new material. Here the principal BSDF is not needed for the hologram effect, so select it and press X to delete it. By pressing Shift A, you can add a material. Add two material, a transparent BSDF and the emission. I will continue to explain whatever node I added as well. First of all, I would change the direction so you can see exactly which node work in which way. So now I connect the transparent BSDF socket to the material output surface socket. So we cannot see across the object right now. If I change EV engine to cycle engine, we can see across the object like a transparent. So the transparent node is basically used to see across the object. So why cannot we see in EV engine? To see, go to the material property and use blend mode to alpha blend in setting, and for better use shadow mode to alpha hash and tick mark these two options. So now our object is become transparent in EV engine. Now same way connect the emission node to the material output. Emission node will generate the light to the surface with the detailed strength option. If we increase the strength of the lighting, the surface light also be glow up. To see better strength, go to the render property and turn on the bloom. The bloom option can generate the glowing effect around the background, and also turn on the ambient occlusion option. So if we increase the strength, then you can see the glowing effect around the object. Now we have to enter both the node together. So by pressing Shift A, I add mix shader node and place between them. Now I connect the emission to the bottom socket and transparent to the first one. So the mix shader is used for mixing any two nodes together, and it contains the factor value. The leftmost factor value become the transparent value powerful and the rightmost is become emission, and zero point 0.5 value mixing both node equally. So from the vector value we can adjust how powerful want to keep which node. Now I move both nodes down a bit so that I can add another node. Now by pressing Shift A, I am add another node which is Fresnel node. Now I connect the Fresnel factor to the mix shader factor. Fresnel node is used when we want to give the more detail at the corner or the angled part of the object rather than the whole body. Same way you can change the IR value when you want to how smooth or strong we need. By pressing right click, I set the default value and adding some another node. Now I am adding another node which is color ramp. Place left to the Fresnel and connect the color value to Fresnel IR value. Color ramp is used for specify a color gradient based on two different color. The value we change in Fresnel by the IOR that we can change by color of the color ramp. For now, I am not changing the value of any node. Now I am adding another node which is noise texture and place at leftmost node. Now connect the factor value of noise texture to the factor value of color ramp. The noise texture is basically used to print a procedural noisy texture like a cloud on the surface of the object. So let me show you how noise texture print texture on a surface. So I remove the socket of material output and connect the factor of noise texture to material output. So you can see it create a black and white noisy effect like a cloud. Here you can mess with a noise property to change the pattern, detail or roughness or anything. Now same way you can connect the color of the noise texture to the material output. So here it create the colorful texture instead of black and white. And same way you can change the property or detail that you want to wish. The noise texture is connected to the material output just only for showing how it creates a different pattern. So now I bring back the connection to the color ramp and continue to create the material of hologram. Here I mistakenly deleted the noise texture, so I bring it back and connect to the color ramp. You can see the noisy effect which you have seen before. Now I select the noise texture and press Ctrl T. So you can see the two nodes are connected automatically. This connection of two nodes are called node wrangler. If you don't have this, by pressing Ctrl T, simply go to the edit menu, preferences, and in add-on search node wrangler. If you have unchecked this option, check it and simply try again. Or you can manually add these two nodes, mapping and the texture coordinate one by one. With the help of mapping node, you can change the location, rotation and scale with the different ways. For the hologram effect, I can change the color of emission to a sky blue or a blue type and increase the strength so it's like a glowing. So it's look perfect but kind of more glowing, so I just decrease a little strength and okay, so like 4.4 something, and set the color ramp value like half. I just increase a little bit value of emission. So here I am just playing with some values until I found a perfect hologramic effect. Now for lining effect, I just changing the value of scale in the mapping. First I change the all value to 0. If you want a lining in any direction, so you can change this direction value to 1. Like if you want in x direction, then you can change the x value to 1. Here you can see the changing of x value can give the left to right effect, y value can give behind to front, and z value give can up to down effect. So I need the z value and change to 1. The sizes of lining can be I change in the noise texture of the scale. Here I just increase the value of scale like 250 or 230 something. If you want to give a lining effect in x direction, then you can set the value x to 1 instead of z. So here our effect is almost completed, but I need to increase the strength at the corner, so I just duplicate the Fresnel and place above it. So here both the fake value of the Fresnel will connect to the mix shader. To do, add a node which is a mix color. Now both the socket of Fresnel value will connect to the mix color. So I just simply unplug the bottom one and connect to the mix color. Connect the bottom socket of Fresnel value to B and top one to A, and connect the result into the mix shader of the factor. So here the factor of mix color is work as the factor of mix shader. The more you move to the left, increase the value to factor A, and more you move to the right, increase the value of factor B. The factor B is not only the one Fresnel but is the connection of the 4 node also. So I just set the value like 0.6 or 0.7 or something. Now it's move the more sign here. To set the value, decrease the Fresnel value of factor A. Whenever adjusting the value by mouse, press shift to get a detail and slow movement. So by adjusting some value, we can create a hologram material. If you like any another color or want to change some detail, you can simply change it. Whenever you satisfy with your project, save it by Ctrl S so that you do not lose your progress. In the next episode, I will show you how you can shake your material so it's look like it animated. So see you in the next class.